are the esports generation. It's been built by us, but it's for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yes, you can give a round of applause. Yes, you can. This is EGX. This is Gfinity. This is a League of Legends Play Like a Pro. So we have a few special things this time round, but I'm gonna get to that because that's pretty cool what I'm about to show you guys. But first, does anybody here want a T-shirt? See, there's a lot more of you there this morning, but they were louder, so let's try that one again. Does anybody here want a T-shirt? Oh, yeah. All right, left side, which is this side. Ha, tricked you. Left side, do you guys want a T-shirt? Yeah. Right side, do you guys want a T-shirt? Yeah. Left side, do you want a T-shirt? Yeah. Right side, do you want a T-shirt? Oh, I think that was the left side. That must have been the left side. All right, don't worry, I have another one. Middle side, do you guys want a T-shirt? Yeah. A little bit smaller, not so loud, not so loud. All right, I'm going to do this quickly. Left. Middle, right, left, middle, right. I'm going to go right with that one. Okay, so it's time for the main event, the main spectacle. It's time for League of Legends Play Like a Pro. So first, let me introduce something else. It's really cool, and I'm going to get this right this time, hopefully. We have some cosplayers in the audience. We love cosplayers. So we've picked them out. They're coming up here. Please welcome to the stage, Gragas, Ash, Talon, Katarina, and Edgel. Guys, come on up here. Give him a round of applause. We've actually had to take Gragas' keg off of him, so that's sitting on stage. It's a rare thing. So I'm guessing that this would not be the greatest of team comps if you played as this. Where's your support? You're the support. You're going to go Ash support. All right. Guys, well, you guys are going to go set up. Get ready in that booth. You can play whatever skin you want, probably the ones you're all wearing. So give it up for these guys once again. Look at this cosplay. Great from them. So, which normal civilian-wearing clothes people want to jump in this other booth? No. I said, which one of you wants to play League of Legends? Oh, yeah. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It's always very difficult for me to choose because you're all lovely people, I'm certain. So, have we got any junglers here? A lot of junglers. Got to love a jungler. I'm a jungler myself. I'm an okay jungler. I did pretty well yesterday. So I'm gonna come close here. I'm gonna come close to. I'm gonna come to you. Yeah. Who do you main jungle?
Lee Sin.
Oh, Lee Sin. Mobility. Come around the side. You're gonna get in the first player. You're in the first player. Give it up for the Lee Sin. All right, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a wall here in the front. You are not Riven, you're not Fizz. Don't jump it, come around the side, okay? Unless you've got Flash, which I'd love to see, I don't want to see you coming over the wall, okay? Come around the side, because if you trip and fall and rugby tackle me, it'd make great television, but it wouldn't really, it'd ruin the day. Okay? So, we've got a jungler. I need an ADC. Any Jinx players? Any Veins? Oh, what would be a good team come here? So we've got a Lee Sin. I'm just going to take an ADC. I'm going to let you guys pick. ADC, who we got? I'm going to let my compadre Martin. Martin, do you want to come grab me an ADC? What's more, give it up for Martin. Who wants to play League of Legends? Give it up. Go on, Martin. I like this. You pick who. Oh, little lady there. Let her come around the side. All right, we have a jungler. We have an ADC. Well, if you have an ADC, you're going to have a support. Any support players here? The workhorses. The unsung heroes of League of Legends. I need support. Martin, do you want to grab me support from there? Oh, we got a support straight away. That was quick. Right. Jungle, ADC, support. Do we have, I've been told, right, we're going to be looking for a top or mid player. And I've been told one of my lovely assistants, Jeanette, is in the audience. Jeanette, could you make yourself known, please? Stick those hands in the air, Jeanette. Oh, your hand's on his head. All right, we have another player. You got to bring him around the side, which means we've got one position left. Whoever this is, I'm going to be relying on you to be the shot caller, the captain, the leader of this squad. Who thinks they can lead this team to victory over the cosplayers? Okay, on the count of 3, I want you to make some noise, okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna let Martin choose again. You've been observing these guys. Oh, look at it. Yeah, get in his face. Scream at him. Scream at him. Show him your war face. This man there. Right, there we go. Both balls will now be filled. We don't have anybody playing coach because that wouldn't be fun, let's be honest. But guys, don't go anywhere because we do have some very special commentators that we have brought in. These guys have been superb for the last 3 days. They make it entertaining. They provide the topping to the pizza that is League of Legends. I'm going to hand it over to our very special professional casters.
Best introduction to casters I've ever heard.
We provide the topping to the pizza that is League of Legends, Excoundrel.
Well, you're the bland topping, of course. Anyway, as we get in, I'm Kieran Excoundrel Low. I'm here with my good friend and brother from
Aaron Chamberlain.
I usually like to
Well,
introduce
yeah, but I didn't. You had a break, and I felt like I had to come in. Otherwise, people aren't going to be hyped, aren't going to be excited for the second game of Day 4 here at Gfinity at EGX.
Yep.
It's amazing having people in these booths and being able to play. Especially, we've got a whole cosplay booth on our left side, and then the normal scrubs on our right.
I'm really hoping we get all of their champions and their skins, just because it'd be so amazing to see that. I'm looking forward to the Heartseeker support Ash and the Debonair AD
Well, I
carrier.
was thinking about it. You could actually have Gragas support, couldn't you?
You could do, yeah. Ash mid, go back to season 1 days.
It'll be quite easy for them to do that. We are just getting into the pre-game lobby, getting everyone set up for picks and bans. Now, we saw Yasuo getting picked up in the last game. He'd been banned out for every game up until then, but it didn't really make that much of an impact. Yes,
very difficult champion to play. Relies a lot on your team. You've only got a very intermittent knock-up, obviously. If you've got knock-ups that are more reliable, and Yasuo works.
He did have an Alistair on his team.
But but Alistair didn't do very well,
yeah,
so it was difficult for him to get in there.
The strength of the Teemo. Tiny Yordo was getting up in your grill pretty much and just
I think people severely underrate Teemo. He has a 100% win record in the LCS so far.
That he does. C9 Balls picking that one up and winning.
It was actually C9 High.
C9 High, sorry. Yep, getting my laners confused. Yasuo is the first ban here. Who will we see the purple side picking out from these teams? We've got Maokai still available. Jax we've seen banned quite a lot as well, even though he's not quite as strong as he used to be. The Nidalee bans have still been trickling through, though she got nerfed a couple of days ago with patch 4.17.
Yeah, Nidalee had a lot of bashes to her early game. Her base AD is almost, I feel
they
like almost
her, in fact.
Indeed, almost negligible. There's the Ziggs ban. We've seen a few of those this tournament. It's a interesting mid lane ban because he's not as strong as he used to be.
Yeah.
But people might not just like his playstyle. He's very poke heavy. If you're not very good at dodging skill shots, Ziggs can be one of the worst champions to play against in that mid lane.
Definitely. Tristana being the second ban coming out from the blue side. She's such a strong AD carry.
Yeah, such a strong AD carry. You do need to get ahead to make yourself big in the mid game. She's still, if you're going even or you're going behind, she's very difficult to play in that mid game, and you can get beaten out in lane by a couple of the AD carriers. People tend to pick Lucian into Tristana, but he's not the best pick actually. I remember a couple of analysts on the world saying actually there's a lot better AD carries you can pick up against Tristana who scale almost equally. Cogmore is so good against Tristana, especially because he scales almost equally as well.
They've locked in the first two cosplays here. They've got Gragas and Talon.
I feel like I really don't want them to take. I don't want the other team to take away any others because this could be a complete cosplay team playing their skins too. So I'm looking forward to that one. Karthus and Lee Sin being locked in here. So that's going to be a Karthus mid and the Lee Sin jungle living up to his promise of playing his main right there. So
well, we do have Karthus in the mid lane, very weak against the assassination meta. Of course, has that death-defied passive that keeps him alive for a few seconds after he's gone down. But if you have a good assassin against him and he's not taking exhaust, you really don't get the chance to do much.
Well, this is going to be either a Talon mid or Talon top. Talon mid against Karthus is pretty decent.
Yeah, Silence has
been nerfed, but you do get a 99% slow for 0.25 seconds, so you can get an extra empowered auto attack and a mercy-based auto attack. And also, obviously, he still has that immediate gap closer. So if the wall comes down and he's within range of Carthen, he can immediately gap close past that wall.
Yeah.
But it does mean he goes into melee range. It's going to be in that defile. It's going to be difficult.
It was almost a Heimerdinger jungle. That's why I was smirking ever so slightly. Is switch back to that Lee Sin. Katarina and Ezreal being hovered over here for the purple side. If we do see a full cosplay team comp from them, are they just going to go with the Ashe support, or do you think they could work that a little bit better?
It's going to have to be Gragas or Talon jungle.
Yeah. I think Gragas jungle.
But I think it'd be Gragas jungle, Talon top, Katarina mid, and then Ezreal Ashe bottom. Yeah. With Ashe support just there to provide the engage with her Frost Arrow.
Katarina top works actually quite well as well.
Used to work quite well. I mean, Katarina had really high base damage about 7 months ago, probably a little bit longer actually. And you could build her full tank. Yeah. You'd go like Sunfire Cape Katarina, and it'd actually be quite legit. But they nerfed all her base damages and increased their ratios. So now you have to kind of go that full AP to make the best out of her.
The other problem with that team comp is you've got the Death Lotus coming in from Katarina when everyone's grouped up. How's that going to work with Gragas explosive cask? He's going to chuck that in there. Everyone's going to be scattered.
Obviously, he can time it when he needs to do it. Isolating is not too bad for Katarina as well. Actually, isolation is pretty good for Katarina. She can
with the resets.
She can get the resets and get on there pretty quickly. That's a Thresh and a Caitlyn going in now. So Thresh Caitlyn going to be a difficult lane for Ezreal Ashe, but we'll have to see. I mean, I have seen a couple of AP support Ezreals come out before. That's actually fairly legitimate.
Yeah. And support Ashe is something people commonly talk about because of all the slows, because of all the harassment she has. But if she does get caught out by one of those Thresh hooks, she's not going to survive for very long versus a Caitlyn Thresh.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be AP support Ezreal and then Ashe AD carry, because AP support Ezreal can work out because Frost Queen's Claim, you get the easy poke and you get the easy gold bait from that Frost Queen's Claim, and then you can go into a fairly heavy AP build where your True Shot Barrage will be doing a lot of damage as well. You've got quite a high level 6 burst. Just based off your base damages, as well as getting that early Frost Queen's Claim will have to give him that extra AP. So if you hit an arrow into a unmitigated True Shot Barrage, you can get a lot of damage down. So we'll have to see how that one works out there.
It is looking like it's going to be a mid lane Ezreal and bot lane Ashe Katarina at the moment. It might just be that they haven't organised properly.
They might not be in the right orders in the chairs, but
that would be really fascinating.
I'd be surprised if it was a bot lane Katarina. I mean, mid lane Ezreal is fairly legitimate. Works out quite well. You can play him AD or AP. That kind of came round when it was in the blue Ezreal build. That was quite popular in the mid lane too. But we'll see. I'm still expecting to see an Ashe Ezreal bot lane, however. Double heal though, it's an interesting mechanic, so could possibly be a mid lane Ezreal. So.
There is an exhaust picked up on that Thresh, of course, going to help him out versus what's basically a triple AD comp coming out here from the purple team, unless Ezreal does go for AP, as you were saying.
I mean, it depends on how everyone builds. Gragas can build tanky.
I expect tank build from Gragas.
But you know, for the fun of it, you could be going full AP here, and you could be having 2 serious AP threats and 3 serious AD threats, in which you've got a very hybrid-centric team here.
Jungle Gragas, actually, if you farm up well, you can get that Rod of Ages and keep yourself getting quite tanky and still having the AP damage.
You have to get ahead quite far to be able to legitimately pick up a Rod of Ages and stack it to a point as where it would still be viable.
He does have some very good early ganks, though. With Body Slam Flash, he can get right on top of someone and lock them down, especially with this Karthus. You burn that Karthus Flash early game, he's really going to struggle to be able to get away from those Body Slams.
Yeah, but obviously then you go into melee range versus a Karthus and you're sort of putting yourself in danger of getting
taken down. But got to be manly. Got to take a risk to get the benefits out of it in this League of Legends game. Same way you got to take a risk with pizza topping sometimes. I once tried ham and pineapple, and I find it delicious. It's my favourite pizza topping now.
Sorry, you're trying to relate this back to...
Yeah, I'm trying to get Brycey back into the conversation, but not quite able to do it.
Anyway, there's no teleports taken over in the top lane. Irelia going for that ignite. So that's going to be a fairly aggressive Irelia lane. I don't like Talon's chances unless he can sort of push himself ahead early. Thing about Irelia is she's weak in the early levels. But you've got to be careful, because once she gets 3 to 5 points in heightened style, you start to do some serious damage. Everyone knows that at level 9, Irelia is almost the undisputed top lane king, because she can just outtrade almost everybody at an even pegging. But Talon, if he gets ahead, maybe force Irelia to go into more of a tanky reach. You won't be able to pick up some of the core items that make her so good, like Sheen, into that Trinity Force. So
I totally agree. It's going to be really interesting how the top lane does match up, especially with Irelia having that Blade Surge. She actually wasn't hovering over an Exhaust Ignite pickup on the Summoners. The Flash is very good on Irelia. I'm glad she took it. I'm glad she picked that one up.
Better for her chase potential, but I mean, Talon's got a little bit of range harass with his Rake, obviously. But you have a choice as to what you kind of level up first. Some people level up Noxie and Diplomacy.
For that extra auto attack.
And also you get the bleed, etc. Some people level up Rake. In the mid lane you tend to level up Rake for the wave clear, and you can get a little bit of range harass off. But we may be seeing for the melee trades in the top lane that he levels up Noxian Diplomacy, which is his Q, his empowered auto attack. He gets the bleed off. But Lee Sin versus Gragas as well. We haven't really talked about the Lee Sin, what his influence is going to be.
Lee Sin
here.
has a lot of early harassment potential. If he gets into that Gragas' jungle, he might be able to trade with him. The only problem is Drunken Rage from Gragas does give you that next empowered auto attack.
It's actually very strong early on. I've seen top lane Gragas level up Drunken Rage first, and actually everyone underestimates the damage that comes out.
Especially if you get a Sheen on him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it just does tons of damage.
Decimates people. Gragas, of course, it was changed quite recently that he needs mana to use that ability now. It does cost 30 mana.
It's a small amount of mana, but it's still
enough to make you think about it.
You need to think about it. The problem with Gragas in the top lane, this is why they changed it, that he does get a flat 4% of his health back every time he uses.
They're all using the skins.
They are all using the skins. I'm very impressed. He did used to get a flat percentage health base back every time he used an ability. So Drunken Rage was on about an 8-second cooldown on the first level, so you could basically spam Drunken Rage.
No mana cost as well.
At no mana cost and get your health back, which meant that his top lane sustain was too powerful. They had to nerf that. But once you pick up the core items for Gragas, like a Rod of Ages in that top lane, that actually sort of was negligible. We are just waiting for them to sort their key bindings. Obviously, we're not going to see any too early off the marks as everyone is just slowly buying their items out. Sensible choice, I think, from the Irelia in the top lane, going for that Crystalline Flask.
Yeah, it just keeps herself nice and healthy in that lane.
Definitely. And Talon going for a aggressive longsword style, obviously giving yourself 2 more AD than or maybe 3 more AD now than a Doran's Blade would. But unfortunately lacking the other statistics like the 3% lifesteal and the flat health. Although Talon with 3% lifesteal, probably not the end of the world for him there. He's got 3 pots instead of the 1 that you'd get with Doran's Blade. And that is an AP Ezreal, so it may be the AP Ezreal mid lane and the Katarina.
It's a good harass lane. Katarina Ashe bot lane does give you a huge amount of harass.
Depends on what you level first in the Katarina. Now, there's 2 ways of playing Katarina. You play against the ranged champion, you tend to level Bouncing Blades first. You play against a melee champion, you'll obviously level up Sinister Steel. Yeah. Because obviously you can get in range and that procs, and you can do consistently harass it. But when you're not going to be able to get close and use it, there's no point leveling up your Sinister Steel first, because you're not going to take advantage of the low cooldown. Because obviously, incrementally, Sinister Steel doesn't get too much base damage as you level it up, because it's a spammable skill. That would be too overpowered if that was the case. Leveling up Bouncing Blade, you do get a fairly big skill increment. There's also, it's a bit like Akali's Mark of the Assassin. You can proc it for a bit of extra magic damage, and obviously that goes up with the Bouncing Blade levels too. So if this is a support Katarina, which is not, it's a support Ashe, then we'll have to see what she chooses to level up. That'll be an interesting lane.
I expect to see the Bouncing Blade level up, in all honesty. It just gives you that little bit of extra harassment potential. It means that you can just try and target down your opponents a little bit better. It will be a really interesting lane, especially against Caitlyn Thresh, because they've got such a range advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting start from Ashe. He's gone for the coin start.
I don't know if we've got the in-game sounds on at the moment. I'm sure we'll get the admins to come and try and sort that one out. I can't hear them myself. Maybe you guys can hear them out there. Lee Sin is just going to start off at his red buff, get that one. He'll be rotating up towards top lane as soon as possible. And if they can shut down this Talon early, as you said, Aurelia has a weak early game, but if they shut him down, it's going to be very difficult for him to get back into that lane.
Yeah, I mean, Talon doesn't trade well. He needs to do all-ins, whereas Aurelia is very good at these.
Lee Sin actually coming for a gank in the mid lane straight away. Flash away there by Ezreal keeps him safe, but nice level 2 gank there by Lee Sin. Yeah,
obviously level 2 is becoming more prominent. There was a period in time about 4 months ago where level 2 ganks just didn't happen because it put you behind in your jungle too much. But right now, here's the in-game signs coming up through again.
Back for us. Katarina is going to be the focus of that CS in the bot lane, but she's struggling against Caitlyn at the moment, only on 2 to Caitlyn's 8. And this is what we said. Nice hook there onto her. There's the play as well. Caitlyn's going to get a lot of damage down. Is that enough? Yes! Katarina goes down. First blood for Caitlyn. And that harassment potential in that bot lane for the blue side just paying off.
This is why I thought it'd possibly be better to give Ashe the source of the income here. Katarina's never going to be able to farm versus a Caitlyn Thresh lane. But obviously this is probably a little bit more fun for the cosplayers. I don't think they mind too much in that situation. I was going to say that the coin start for Ashe is a bit interesting. I possibly, if I was confident in my last hitting, go for a Relic Shield, because it gives you that sustain when you last hit minions. So if Ashe eventually, she can use her volley to at least last hit a few. Even if you're not the best at last hitting, you should be able to make use of those stacks fairly easily. Gragas, in the meantime, has picked up his double buffs. He's looking to potentially make something happen, but
Carthus actually faked out really well. He went up towards this top side of the river, looking as if he was going to ward, and Gragas backed away because of it. He didn't place a ward there, still has his ward available, but it was a nice little juke by him to act as if he had vision.
Yeah, so Katarina Ash bot lane, like we said, not working out the best. She's already 10 CS behind. Ash actually taking more CS than the Katarina here, despite
Here
going
comes Gragas. Kenna's going to walk into this one, does place the ward down. Nice
Great
body slam,
body
flash,
slam.
knocks him out, but the lantern's there. Caitlyn grabbed the lantern, decides not to do it, and has to heal because of it. And it's the bane of Thresh support. No one ever grabs the lantern.
Without the silence, I think Talon's
So much damage coming onto
Yeah.
Talon. Yeah, the Ignite is available for Aurelia, backs away. And that hidden style, true damage is so huge.
Yeah, without the silence, I think Gragas is going to get caught out
Yeah,
here.
Lee Sin uses that Tempest Cripple. He has got the Resonating Strike, follows it up there with the Sonic Wave, and this should be a dead Gragas. Nice heal there by Ezreal. Flash hook does connect. Thresh, God, Mad Life is in this game, obviously, and Karthus picks up the double buff for himself.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the new Talon versus this Irelia. Without the silence, as soon as Talon jumps onto Irelia, she can immediately use Equilibrium Strike.
Yeah.
And potentially, if she's at a lower percentage health than him, stun him,
Yeah.
get a couple of auto attacks with her heightened style off, and out-trade him every time. This is going to be a very difficult lane for Talon to do
20
anything.
CS behind.
Yeah, I mean, he's already burnt all 3 of his pots, and Irelia's got 2 of her health pots and possibly a few charges on her Crystalline Flask left too.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for her. Lee Sin doing work in that jungle, taking the double buffs off that Gragas and gifting them across towards his mid lane. Karthus with double buffs at level 5 is a scary, scary beat, spamming that lay waste as much as possible just to farm up the lane. And Ezreal is going to struggle against this Karthus.
What's even more scary, because obviously Lay Waste doesn't cost too much mana in its own right, he can now probably sit with Defile on most of the lane, which is actually the high cost mana spell of Karthus. So he's going to sit there with that Defile on and
now
just
Ezreal
do a
does
lot of
good
damage.
to him,
Yeah.
but
That's the thing about AP Ezreal. He's got good AP scaling, so you've just got to land those skill shots.
that is always the difficulty. He does hit level 5 for himself. Now, Talon definitely struggling. Got double longswords in this top lane.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
As soon as he jumps on, without that silence, Irelia can Equilibrium Strike and trade, or Equilibrium Strike and just walk away. So
Katarina sitting on 6 CS in the bot lane. I think they might have decided they're going to give the CS across towards Ash now. Sitting on 7 for herself.
It's hard to say. She was still
Yeah.
she was 7 3
7.
minutes ago. So
Oh, okay.
it's she's picked up a dagger early on though, so maybe going towards a bit more of an AD carry build. Definitely going to be a very difficult lane for them to get anything out of, though. I think they're going to really struggle.
Yeah, there's the hook onto Ash. The Flay comes back as well. Piltover Peacemaker going to do a lot of damage. Katarina trying to counter-engage this one, but the Lantern goes down, giving Thresh that shield, and they will be able to escape to safety. Ash down to about 200 HP already, though, and this lane pushing against them very dangerously.
Yeah, and the Piltover Peak is doing a
Oh,
lot
here
of
comes
damage.
the Requiem. Not going to be enough. Ash just about survives it, calling on that health bot to keep herself alive.
I mean, I think that health bot possibly did save a life as Aurelia goes in on the top lane.
Yeah, Equilibrium Strike slowing up that Talon. There's Blade Surge, Ignite, tick, tick, boom. Cool people walk away from explosions, and Aurelia picks up the kill.
Yeah, she knew he was dead. She just walked away from that. And that's the guy saying Talon is just going to struggle so much. In fact, every lane, I think, is going to really struggle here. The only lane that could have possibly gone well was this Ezreal lane in the mid lane. He's up in CS against this Karthus despite having died early on. So he's not having a too bad of a time. That Essence Flux just missing there. Interesting to see what Ezreal's going to choose to level up first, because people sort of split between using Essence Flux or Mystic Shot, because both of them scale off AP. Usually you'd say Mystic Shot, because it gives you the reduced cooldown, and obviously it's the more spammable skill of the two, but Essence Flux is the higher AP scaling
And
skill.
it's easier to hit as well, because it goes through minions.
Goes through minions, targets champions. So.
Let's look at this blue side team comp, because if you think about it, they don't have the best coordinated team comp. Karthus kind of wants to go in there with Defile. Actually, a gank coming here onto Aurelia. She does have that flash available if she wants to get away. Gragas is about actually Ezreal picking up the kill onto Karthus. We're going to follow this Aurelia around. The Bower will slow her up. Still does have that flash available. No mana left after this body slam from Gragas. The rake comes out. Aurelia still trying to kite back as much as possible.
You have flash already.
Yeah, just flash the wall, you numpty. Oh, that was so nicely done. Places the ward and Blade Surges across towards the Golem. Gragas will have mana up for that body slam. That was not the best of flashes after a very nice play earlier. Does get that Equilibrium Strike down for the stun. Barrel roll should be available for Gragas any second now if he manages to get that slow. Here comes Talon as well. Has got that Shadow Assault available. Uses it. Flashes in with a couplet as well. But the Equilibrium Strike under tower. Ignite will get the kill on Aurelia, but Talon goes down as well. Really nicely played by that Aurelia.
Yeah, I mean, she did pick up the kill there. I feel like that was an unnecessary roam around the jungle that she probably could have flashed and got away fairly easily.
Or like place.
Or just flash in lane.
just
She may have been able to get a flash away in lane. But, you know, came out with a kill. Not too bad. Talon missing a lot of CS potentially to that tower if it does push up. Is pushing well in favour of Aurelia too.
Ash
getting caught out here.
Caitlyn has the ace in the hole available as well if they want to use it. There's the headshot. There's the box. The heal comes out, but ace in the hole. Cat, what? Kitty Cat Katarina decides she doesn't want to save the life of her teammate.
Well, everyone knows that cats are in it for themselves, and Katarina...
She's got 9 lives though. Why not use one of them to save Ash?
Cats are unfriendly beasts.
Yeah.
As we look, as Karthus is trying to farm his way back into this lane. Ezreal picking up the early Sheen, possibly one of the best items for him to pick up in the early game for his AP self. He's going to be doing a lot more damage, both a bit of mixed damage now with that Sheen as well.
Gets him just a little bit of extra harassment potential in the mid lane, but Karthus has a needlessly large rod already, so going for that heavy DPS Karthus build. Lots of damage coming out from Ezreal though. Missing the Mystic Shot means he doesn't get that Sheen proc, and that is quite a lot of his DPS actually down the drain. Interesting
about this Karthus build, you do tend to see Karthus build a mana build just because it's more efficient in team fights, so sometimes you'll see them pick up an early tier. More often than not, you might see a Rod of Ages. I'm just interested to see whether he's going to go for flat AP here.
Glass cannon.
Just go for the early burst. You may run out of mana quickly in team fights, but then you're going to die anyway. So
you don't use mana when you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's one of those builds that you do see on Karthus from time to time. They just want to get into the middle of the team fight, usually flashing in as well.
Lee.
The hook is going to land on Ash again. It's so much damage coming down. There's the flare as well. Nice flash into Dragon's Rage kick. They do pick up the kill on Katarina, and they can rotate after getting this tower towards Dragon if they want.
Yeah, they'll take this tower fairly easily now. The gold lead just spiraling out of control at 10 minutes at 4k.
4,000 gold is huge, and they're going to go get the Dragon as well. We'll put them 5,000 gold in the lead. Irelia out farming Talon in the top lane as well. There aren't really many lanes here for the cosplaying team that can really get them back into it. Blaze Surge, Transcendent Blaze as well. There's the Ignite. Tries to Shadow Assault, but you're never going to get away from an Aurelia when she's 3-1-0 already. True Shot Rush does come out towards Dragon, not going to pick it up. Does get
someone
these in
tank for
very
Lee.
low. None of these teams really want to save their teammates. There is an explosive cask here for Gragas. He can just use this. Oh, he gets the body slam in. Here comes Ash as well. They're going to try and turn it around. The explosive cask onto Thresh. There's the Lantern.
Take the
Caitlyn is not going to take
on.
Oh, she grabs it eventually. Karthus coming in from the side. Very low on health. And here's Ezreal as well. Has got that heal and flash available. There's the flash across. Nicely done. They're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Karthus. The blue buff gets transferred across as well. Requiem is up if Karthus decides to use it, and he isn't going to pop that one yet. Doesn't see anyone he can pick up.
Questionable Requiem if he did. If he did. Not going to pick up anything from it. And this could be actually a turnaround Dragon for the cosplaying team. Ezreal's, like I said, the True Shot Barrage scales so well with AP. If you're the first target it hits, actually chunks you very, very significantly. So this is going to be Gragas and the rest of his team. He's asking Katarina and
Cat's decided to help
tank.
for one.
Yeah, these guys actually going to tank for their jungler instead of Lee Sin taking all the damage there.
Of course, Gragas giving away that extra 25 gold to the Ash. Gragas will survive this.
Oh,
it's
nice Drunken Rage.
Gets uses that Drunken Rage to get his health back.
Yeah, well, also the percentage health damage reduction you take when you do the Drunken Rage, very good. Probably wouldn't have killed him anyway, but again, nice safety mechanism for himself there.
Not quite sitting on enough damage on that Karthus at the moment. Anyway, 3-1 for that Irelia in the top lane. 50 CS ahead as well, and Talon not having any fun at all. Here comes Thresh. Can he land the Mad Life?
No flash.
The Arcane Shift has already come out. Misses the hook. Karthus trying to chase it up, but you're not going to be able to catch up with an Ezreal. It's just way too quick. Lee Sin coming towards the bot lane. No Thresh there, of course, so it's a 2v1 at the moment, unless Lee Sin does decide to join in. Now, a lot of this mid game is going to be defined about True Shot Barrage. If that hits well, if Ezreal manages to snipe some people off, get himself ahead, he's already got that Sheen, already 2-0 in that lane as well. If he can help out his team with some good roaming, that'd be great. Blade Surge comes in, there's the Shadow Assault from Talon just to get himself away. True Shot Barrage just being used to farm at the minions, which, when you've got two people pushing against you, is understandable.
The thing about using True Shot Barrage as Ezreal is, especially as AP Ezreal, you pick up some cooldown reduction, you can hit those mystic shots. You have like a True Shot Barrage and a 30-second cooldown, something like that. If you can keep hitting those Mystic shots too, it makes it even smaller. Because obviously every time you hit a Mystic shot, your other cooldowns are reduced by 1 second. A bit like Rise, I guess.
He hasn't leveled up that Mystic shot second. He's gone for the Arcane Shift, which does actually have a better AP ratio than the Mystic shot. It's a bit of a surprise to see, but it's quite a common build on AP Ezreals.
Yeah, I mean, Arcane Shift has got a better AP ratio. You got to remember it has a high cooldown, probably about 3 times higher cooldown. It looks like Aurelia is going very aggressive here.
aggressive dive here. There's nothing Talon can do against that at all. Irelia is farming him as much as she's farming minions. Body slam into the mid lane, explosive shot, actually explosive cast, so you're going to miss up that combo coming out from Ezreal, and Thresh will escape to safety.
Yeah, Thresh, unfortunately, probably wouldn't have gone down easily there. I think Kragos is aiming to get the explosive cast past Thresh, just a little bit off there. Yeah, like I said, I just feel like the flash hook lands
onto Ezreal. Hasn't got the arcane shift up, but here comes Gragas from the side. The
True shot barrage.
That is the first kill for Ezreal. He can keep chasing this one. We'll have arcane shift up in just a second. He does go in. One more also. Gragas actually picks it up with a flash body slam. Requiem not available. They're going to be able to get away. Here comes the ace in the hole. That's a very dead drunken man, and he manages to get taken out. Caitlyn picking up the kill there with ace in the hole. Ezreal's going to try and escape. Should be able to get away. He does a lot of damage, and the Sonic Wave just missing off to the side.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the arcane shift working out for Ezreal there. You know, like you said, you can practically take any of Ezreal's abilities. It just depends how you want to play. And if you want to play an in and out, sort of try and keep yourself on the edge of a team fight and then go aggressive when you need to, arcane shift's a decent spell to level up. But obviously, the thing about Mystic Shot is so easily spammable, even though it's got a lower AP ratio. You'll actually do more damage if you manage to hit more of them in a successive amount of time. So.
One of the main problems here for the purple side is they don't really have an AD carry anymore.
No.
Talon is an AD caster, and it would be fine if he got fed. They'd still have a good source of attack damage, but because he's so far behind, Ashe has gone support. They have two AP laners in the form of Katarina and Ezreal. As long as the magic resist comes out here from the blue side, they're really going to struggle to get any damage down.
Yeah, nothing coming out in the early game, and actually Ezreal really shines the mid-early game as an AP carry, so it'd be very difficult for them
to... roaming down here, but I think they know about it. She's going to try and sneak around into this bush. Ashe and Katarina not in the best position. She has got the Enchanted Crystal Hour up. Here comes Irelia from the side. Is she going to be able to pick them off? There's the Equilibrium Strike onto Ashe. So much damage coming down. Enchanted Crystal Hour is there if they want to use it. But look at that. Transcendent Blaze. Requiem coming in as well. Going to use the heal, but that's a double kill. But Carter's explosive cast does knock Irelia back into the tower, but this is a very dead Gragas. True Shot Barrage comes in from the side. Gragas goes down to the unstoppable Caitlyn. Karthus picks up 2. Caitlyn picks up 1. It's a 3-for-0 exchange.
Yeah, I mean, Karthus picking up the early Rabadons meant that he did manage to secure the double kill there. I'm just looking at the Katarina's build right now. Gone for the Bilge Water before she's gone for the Hex Deck, and actually going to go for a Gunblade, which... Katarina does scale from AD on some of her spells, but not very high AD scaling, and actually Katarina benefits way more from flat AP. This is very much a sort of an Akali build. You can, looks like an aggressive Talon play here. Not
having a silence anymore is going to cost Talon there. He's got to get the Ignite down. Shadow Assault as well. Will he dodge the lay waste? He won't, and he goes down to Karthus. Karthus getting a lot of kills. Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses by quite a way there. Not going to be able to connect on anyone, but does mean that the blue team has to back away. Dragon up in a minute and a half. Will they be able to rotate back towards it?
Yeah, potentially this is going to be another area for the purple team to try and exploit, but they're now a little bit further behind than they were last time, up to about 6k now, so it's not really going too well for them. The only member of the team I'd say that has a chance of doing something in this dragon fight is Ezreal, because if he hits all of his skills, constant refresh of his cooldowns, he can do a lot of damage. Making sure that True Shot Barrage hits key targets in the next fight as well will be everything for them coming up in this next
He's got his needlessly large rod as well, building towards a Lich Bane.
If he can finish that Lich Bane before Dragonet gets up, that'll be very big for them.
Well, he's sitting on 710 gold, so should be
about 800 and something, 950, something like that,
It's under 1,000 gold, I'm pretty sure, to combine that Lich Bane. Just needs to farm up a little bit more. Irelia's going to jump onto him. There's the Equilibrium Strike, only slows him, of course, because he's got less health than her. They do get the turret in the bot lane. That's going to give Ezreal that little bit of gold that he might need. True Shot Barrage is going to come out, clear out that wave, and they are just going to rotate back down towards the river. Thresh not in the best of positions, but because he knows that his team is there with him, he can be a little bit more aggressive than he usually would be. Yeah,
and obviously Gragas now picking up that Glacial Shroud. Wouldn't be surprised to see an Iceborne Gauntlet coming out there. Very strong item on the Gragas indeed. Synergizing very well with that Drunken Rage and the need for the auto attacks on the Gragas to be a high damage ability. He probably won't be going for a Frozen Heart, I expect. Because without a lot of health, Frozen Heart's not as viable.
Hits here onto here we go, there's the flash into Dragon's Rage. Lots of damage coming out. Irelia's there. Lee Sin actually gets knocked back under the tower. Beautiful explosive cast. They're going to play Gragas back into the fight. Karthus is in the middle of them all. Thresh gets one. Irelia is still tanking up everything. Ezreal gets on a rampage now. Ace in the Hole's going to pick up Ashe right to the side of the fight. And Karthus goes down, but it's only Ezreal left alive with actually Talon going for the split push. Equilibrium Strike is there. And there's the hook as well. Irelia picks up another kill. Oh no, Irelia! Oh, so close to going down to the turret there. Just manages to get out of range, and they do pick up a turret for themselves. Talon went for the split push instead of being with his team. Might have been able to help turn it round.
Maybe. Obviously, Talon's pretty weak at the moment. He's actually going straight for a last whisper here following the brutalizer, so just making sure any armor that potentially gets picked up he can shred through. Not a bad idea for someone who's that far behind. Often penetration's the best way to go because it's the cheapest stat to buy. Why people always say if you're behind in mid lane, pick up a void staff.
Lee Sin's chasing onto Talon here, and Talon doesn't have anything available. He has no mana, he's got no flash, he's got no ignite. Here's the Requiem, and he's got no life anymore. Actually has about 20 HP, but Lee Sin does manage to save my commentating skills right there.
He does go down indeed. Lee, I've just noticed, over the last year, since this InSec sort of Lee Sin has come around, I've noticed that everyone is becoming sort of familiar with the ward jump from what's Safeguard. You never used to see that with Lee Sin because it was obviously before the ages of Sightstone. It never really used to happen, but I really like that everyone's getting used to it because you can just see...
Having the trinket ward as well helps so much.
Exactly. I just really like this sight ward jump that a lot of even lower, lower tier division players can pick up and start using as well. It's always really, really fun to see. I love high mobility champions because they always have the best ways to make plays. Ezreal
really
now
frustrating to play against.
Ezreal now picking up that Lich Bane, going to be very good for him. Obviously, Mystic Shot does proc on hit effects.
Look at that damage onto Caitlyn. That's just one Essence Flux. They need to be careful of him because if he gets an Essence Flux 2-shot barrage off the side of a team fight across a good few members,
it'll be a lot of damage.
So great for them with an explosive cast coming out as well. Here comes the Enchanted Crystal out and a miss on the Aurelia. Shadow Assault a little bit late for that one. Ignite goes down as well. A little bit early. Here come Ashe and Gragas though. Can they get the volley off? No. The Triforce just making Aurelia ever so slightly quicker than them, and she does manage to get herself away.
She's also picked up the majority of the components for her Blade of the Ruined King here, so that's going to be very big when she manages to finish that. Those are 2 core items for Aurelia. I'd say Blade of the Ruined King is supplementary. It's basically Trinity Force is the core item for her, then you can go full tank if you want to, but if you're ahead, Blade of the Ruined King is going to push you even further, make you more of a threat, give you that extra chase potential with the active to steal the movement speed, so I like it for her. She's really going to go and hit into that top lane carry role that she really needs to be. Are they going
to fight this? I think Aurelia could probably take both of them.
I think she could possibly take both of them.
It is only a support Ashe, remember, doesn't have any AD, only those Berserker Greaves into a chain vest at the moment.
Is this going to be the Thornmail Ashe?
Thornmail Ashe. She's been watching the tutorial vigorously and is like, yep, I need that Thornmail on Ashe. She's going to get caught out though, and even a Thornmail wouldn't help her out against that Thresh. She flashes the wall. There's the box as well. Shadow Assault comes in. Here comes Ezreal from the side. So much damage from him. Katarina is available as well. True Shot Barrage is going to hit only onto the minions and not quite be able to pick up the kill. There's a big wave here in the bot side, and they're going to go onto Ezreal. Tempest Scribble, Dragon's Edge kick, red buff, going to slow him up enough, and Katarina does hardly any damage at all. Only with that Hextech Revolver. Gragas trying to come in from the side. He's going to go onto that Thresh, but not get enough damage down. He gets hooked in. Caitlyn is huge at the moment. 602. Nice explosive cast, but here's Lee Sin from the side.
Nice
does connect. Ace in the hole, and Gragas goes down as well. Aurelia, meanwhile, split pushes top lane.
Yeah, 10k almost at 21 minutes. This is obviously... it was just a team comp issue. I like the fun that the cosplayers brought to it. But obviously, the support Ashe and the AD carry position Katarina, possibly not the strongest of lane combinations right there.
Perhaps
and Ashe actually gone for a Warden's Mail now, so...
Randuin's Ashe.
Randuin's Ashe, I like it.
Or it could be Frozen Heart as well, actually. That makes a bit more sense, I guess.
Maybe get an Enchanted Crystal off a quicker cooldown.
She is from the Freyoid, so she probably does have a Frozen Heart.
Actually, if you read the lore, Ashe is quite a warm character.
Oh, okay. Didn't realise how warm she was. Aurelia is going to meet up with Katarina in the jungle here, and as much as that Katarina has a Bilgewater Cutlass, Aurelia has a Triforce as well, so probably needs to back away ever so slightly.
Matches Bilge for Bilge there with the Triforce on top of Aurelia, so I'm not going to go too favourite Katarina. At least Katarina started picking up a bit of CS now, obviously way behind where she should be for an AD carry position, but she's got 66.
What happens when you have a melee champion in the AD carry position?
I remember when I was leveling up to 30, I used to play Katarina bot lane all the time, and it worked out fine for me.
Well, most of these people, I think, are above level 30. Explosive Cast comes in, not going to knock that Karthus back into the team. Not really who you want to be knocking back into your team, but because he's gone for that full DPS, he has got his Ceres Embrace now, just to give himself that little bit of extra...
Yeah. Oh, looks like it's an aggressive.
Yeah, great aggressive play. Lee Sin coming from the side as well. Aurelia is very low. There's a True Shot Barrage. Ashe is going to get taken down. Aurelia is dominating. Ezreal actually picking up the kill onto the Karthus in the backline. Ashe goes down. Double kill for her. Talon's going to go down as well. Caitlyn picking up Gragas and Talon going down to Lee Sin. Only Ezreal left alive. I think I've said that good 5 or 6 times thus far. Ezreal almost getting the kill onto that Irelia with his Arcane Shift away. Of course, that little bit of damage coming out.
You see, with that Mystic Shot, it would have done a ton more damage if he started leveling at first.
Lee Sin's trying to go in onto this one, but Ezreal is doing the damage. Can he make them have to back away from this one? Caitlyn is the only one left anywhere near full HP, but Ezreal, oh, go on, do it. Arcane Shifts. Oh, he gets the kill with the Mystic
at the
Shot.
end.
The Arcane Shift particle actually hit onto one of the Wraiths there, so he didn't get the little bit of extra damage he expected, but the Lich Bane proc off his Mystic Shot was just enough to pick up the kill.
Yeah, sometimes obviously can't hit the Wraiths, but he did manage to do the damage that he needed to. It's actually got deceptive hitbox.
Yeah.
It actually ends, but it hits a little bit further than it ends, which is I always found very odd about Ezreal. But they are going to go get around for the Dragon, which is starting in 40 seconds. Only Thresh is dead though on the side of the blue team, so probably not the most ideal target for them to sort of force a 5v5 fight at this point.
Especially with that 8-0 Caitlyn.
Ooh, Karthus took a lot of damage.
Oh,
the True Shot Barrage
doesn't quite connect onto Karthus. But Lee Sin trying to come into the side just to help out his team. Karthus, with that full DPS build, really isn't anywhere near tanky enough to deal with Ezreal if he gets a combo off.
Yeah, I mean, not all Karthus do go for that Rod of Ages.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen the tier for the Seraph's Embrace a lot earlier, because it just means he's wasted about sort of 17, 18 minutes of tier stacking time, at which point most Karthuses will have a fully stacked tier to go into basically an Archangel's Seraph's Embrace. So he could then have the shield from that if he utilised it. But obviously that wasn't the case, so he's got a very late Archangel stuff here. So
almost got Rabadons on Ezreal as well. He only needs another 300 or so gold to pick that one up, and that's going to be a massive power spike for his team.
Big milestone for the Ezreal. He's the only one that really has the potential to carry here. Talon has picked up that last Whisper, so we'll be doing a lot of damage in terms of flat penetration, almost true damage maybe in some of the members. He's got that flat. Obviously flat is calculated after percentage, so you do the percentage armor reduction from the last Whisper, and then you have the flat percentage flat penetration from the Brutalizer afterwards. So
it's going to be interesting to see how much damage he actually does do. 2 and 8 at the moment, not really farmed or fed or anything. So
Gragas wants to go here.
Engage here. Look at that damage onto Caitlyn. Actually, Talon does get the kill with the Shadow Assault. They're going to turn it onto Thresh as well. He's been ignited. Shadow Crystal Hour comes out. Ezreal is there in the middle of this entire fight as well. There's the box. Nice Dragon's Rage kick going to knock up 2, but Talon gets a double kill for himself. And the purple team coming up trumps there in what was a 4v5 fight.
Yeah, well, they caught out Caitlyn, who's one of the only fed members of the blue team. Once she went down, there wasn't too much threat, although the Karthus does have a lot of AP. He's still not very tanky. He has to back out fairly easily.
Lee Sin is still alive, and Ezreal's gone back to deal with Irelia. He can snipe this one away. Does go in. There's the dragon going across towards Gragas. Actually, Lee Sin is still there. Can he get anyone down? Actually, Lay Waste picks up the kill across the wall onto Katarina. Here comes the Requiem. And it's not going to be enough with the heal. Managing to keep them both alive. Irelia pushing out this top lane. Ezreal trying to deal with her, but that is a very beefy Frostblade Irelia, and she's going to be able to get this tower, even though the Ezreal is there to defend.
Yeah, she's picked up her Spectre's Cow, which means every time Ezreal goes to harass her, she'll get increased health regeneration. So he's not trying to fully commit. The thing about Spectre's Cow is it's very good against poke lanes, especially AP poke lanes, because you get the magic resist. And every time you're poked intermittently, you get increased health regeneration, so you recover quickly. It's obviously less decent against people who can all in you, because obviously then the health regeneration doesn't stack.
Like the Syndras or the Zeds or the Fizzes.
But obviously the magic resist is always great, so that's why it's always picked up. But very potent against people like Ezreal who don't want to commit to an Irelia, because if he Arcane shifts in for an all-in,
Ash, you are not in a good position. There's the death sentence. There's a death paragraph for her. She goes down straight away. Transcendent Blade used as well to try and catch on to Talon. Nice explosive cast from Gragas, but he's put himself way out of position for this one. Actually flashes away from that Sonic Blade. The slow on to Irelia is not going to be enough. Equilibrium Strike comes out. Irelia is legendary, 11-1-6. And she is doing work for her team at the moment.
Yeah, actually Talon gone for a black cleaver, so he's just basically saying, you guys, I'm going to try and do true damage here. I'm going to try and penetrate all of the armor that you potentially have.
The problem with the black cleaver, though, is no one else on his team does AD. Like Black Cleaver, you're reducing the armor of your enemies, and so what's the use if no one else is doing any
and also
AD?
you have to...
the flash hook there onto Ezreal, but he does Arcane Shift away. Look at the damage coming out from him. Ace in the Hole came in onto the Talon, picking up that kill. Actually, Irelia getting that one. Karthus picks up the turret there. Ezreal is still alive. Will have that True Shot Barrage available in just a few seconds if he decides to use it. It's 3 seconds on that. Is anyone low enough here on the side of the blue team? Only Lee Sin. Actually, Irelia gets caught out there by a Mystic Shot. Oh, so much damage coming down. There is the hawk shot from Ash. Lee Sin is very low. Irelia is very low. Ninth Castle's wall there. Irelia is going to jump onto this Ezreal, though. He's used the Arcane Shift. True Shot Barrage comes out, but Irelia picks up the kill. And because of that Arcane Shift usage, it just meant that the Irelia was able to all in him.
Yeah, he tried to all in the Karthus there, got caught out. Obviously, the Equilibrium Strike slowed him because Irelia was actually a little bit higher percentage health out there. But she did pick up the kill because she's just so far ahead, does tons of damage as well. Her attack speed's through the roof. With that heightened style, will just be shredding through the majority of the red team. The only thing I can say about Talon's Black Cleaver, as I was saying before, is that he needs to be able to get at least 4 auto attacks or abilities that proc on hit effects. And I don't think he's actually going to survive for that long to make full use of it. And obviously, like you said, Black Cleaver is most effective when you have a high AD team because you're not penetrating from your side of things, you're actually reducing their armor, so therefore it makes everyone else on your team who does AD damage anyway a little bit more potent. So
AD damage, attack damage.
I'd say well,
it does definitely help out your team. 13,000 gold is the lead here for the blue side, 30 kills to 15. Lee Sin is going to come in and defend this mid lane tower. Of course, only 2 towers going down thus far for the purple side. The cosplayers, the ones that have come up dressed up all fancy.
Oh, going aggressive on Thresh.
Thresh is getting engaged upon here by Talon, but there's the Flay. A nice hook across the wall will come out onto the Gragas. There's the wall coming out from Karthus as well. Beautiful explosive cast, but here comes Irelia. And look at the amount of damage. Nice Enchanted Crystal Arrow actually picking up the Katarina in the back lane. Irelia's going to go down to True Shot Barrage. Here comes the ace in the hole. Talon is going to get locked out of this fight. Lee Sin picking up 1. Gragas gets taken out as well. Only Ash and Ezreal are left alive, but Ezreal's still on full HP. Does have that red buff available as well. We'll be able to Arcane Shift away in just a minute. The Essence Flux does a bunch of damage, but do just manage to back away. And although Irelia went deep, her team weren't quite able to follow up.
Yeah.
Requiem picks up the kill onto Ash. Poor little Ash not being able to get away from that one.
Yeah, I mean, Irelia at this point could basically 1v4 them and let the rest of the team sort of mess around the other side of the river, and she still came out and the majority okay, just the Ignite taking her down at the end. Obviously with that tenacity around the enemy champions, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow kept her locked up for less than a second, so she's not the most ideal.
Definitely helped them lock her out, though.
Definitely did help to lock her out. They're actually going to go straight for this dragon. There's no vision control here.
Have a look at True Shot Barrage. 19 seconds on that. Mystic Shot will not be up in time, and this should be a free Baron, here for the blue side.
Yeah, I do feel like Gragas has a sort of inkling, or he might just be going for his red buff, but no one has picked it up yet. I think it's going to go straight over to the blue team. They managed to pick that with ease, and I think Gragas actually just clearing out his red buff as it had been taken away.
A 30-minute Baron there for the blue side. Is this going to spell their push? Because they've been dominant throughout this entire game. Double the amount of kills on the purple side, but really not taking those objectives. They got that top lane inhibitor to a long time ago, about 5 minutes ago. Irelia picking that one up. Now they're rotating to top lane and they're going to go for that push and hopefully go for the inhibitor.
Yeah, they do what a lot of teams do when they're in this position. They actually seem to prioritize things like jungle buffs, etc. before taking.
Got to get those golems
before grouping, which is everyone hates in solo queue. Come on, team, group. This is what they should be doing at the moment. They should be grouping up. They can win 5v fights very easily, especially with that Irelia. They just have to focus down that Ezreal. Once the Ezreal goes down, he has picked up a Void Staff now as well, so actually going to be doing a lot to burst through that magic resistance of Irelia. But if they can lock down that Ezreal, they can win a team fight straight out. So.
Lee Sin's coming down onto Katarina here in the bot lane. I'm not sure how easily Katarina can get out of this one. Does have the flash, does have Ignite as well. She's going to try and get away, but look at that. Yeah, it's just a very dead Katarina. Lee Sin melting her away. He's 6'3" and 13 and he's played a very good game.
I mean, he's just 3 levels ahead too, and he's got that level 3 ultimate, so he's going to be a lot of damage. People really underestimate the amount of extra damage levels just give you, because they obviously increase your flat AD. You have the spell damage increase when you level up in the increments of spells. They actually account for about 30 damage, on average each spell, which is, if you think about it, especially for AD spells, it's like 2 longswords every level. So it's levels are such an important thing in League of Legends. And
the fact he has the Last Whisper of Andurins and Spirit of the Lizard Elder probably helps as well. Enchanted Crystal Arrow whiffing. Let's see if it hits anything. No, it's a bit. No, straight across the map. Calculated there by Ash.
It's not about hitting the arrow, it's about sending a message.
It's about sending a message, not quite able to connect. They are going to go in here on the middle lane. It's only Karthus, Caitlyn and Thresh there. Ash is trying to pound away onto this Thresh, but look at that wall as well. True Shot Barrage going to do half of Caitlyn's health. Thresh is isolated here, but Ezreal's going very deep. He might get taken down. Actually escapes with about 20 HP, but Thresh manages to pick up the kill. Karthus is there as well. The Defiler's on. Thresh double kill. Lee Sin coming in from the side as well. Irelia 1v2ing against Katarina, and the Talon picks up a double kill for herself. Heal used by Ashe. Randuin's used by Lee Sin.
Oh,
there is the insect onto the ward, and that should be the ace for the blue side. Gonna get an inhibitor. Will they get the Nexus here? Caitlyn is down, but they do have a lot of damage.
Yeah, and the death times aren't as long as you'd possibly want for a team without an AD carry to try and take down the Nexus, but that'll be a free inhibitor, possibly that bot lane inhibitor turret too. Looks like Karthus and Thresh are going to be doing their work with Irelia coming over here. They could just clean up the outside of the base with ease here, but again, this is pretty much spelling the end of the game for the cosplayer team here.
15 kills on Irelia.
Yeah,
15 kills.
She's big. Yeah.
She's sitting on 15,000 gold. The closest person on the other team is Ezreal, who's sitting on 11. After him, you go down to 9,500 gold. That's 6,000 gold advantage for Irelia.
Yeah, I mean, she's just so far ahead at this point. Like I said, she won that lane against Talon because Talon, especially without the silence anymore, cannot go in for free trades with Irelia. If you use that...
it's the curse of the cosplay.
Yeah.
You cannot beat people if you're cosplaying as the champion you're playing. I learnt that the hard way when I cosplayed as Heartseeker Vayne. Doesn't work out too well.
I like that cosplay. You look very sexy.
I do try. Almost as good as Odd One's Riven cosplay. Anyway, into the game. 40 kills to 18. Blue side are miles ahead at the moment. Baron will be spawning in quite a while, actually. They still have the buff on them. It's about to expire, I do believe. So we'll be about 3 minutes before that comes back up. It's a 20,000 gold lead now, and unless this team are channeling Alliance, they should be able to finish this one up.
Oh,
Lisa
nice flash.
Yeah,
he stops
nice
the
flash
body
by
slam.
Lisa, and he's going to get that Dragon's Rage kick. That is a very dead Gragas. He needs to go have another drink on the fountain, and they're going to be able to push down this bottom lane. The last inhibitor alive for the purple scene, and it looks like this should be a win for the blue side. Lee Sin doing a huge amount of damage. Ezreal just can't penetrate through all of that health that he has. The heal used out. Ashe is going to try and escape with the Talisman of Ascension, but here comes Irelia. Blade Surge is on. The volley comes out as well. Katarina's going to get caught out. Kit Kat goes down with that ace, and the whole True Shot Barrage does pick up one kill here for the purple side, but Thresh with the play, with the box, with the Irelia coming in as well. Nice stun by her, but I think Ezreal should be able to get down to the fountain. He does. Requiem into Hook. Will it be enough? It will, and it's the ace for the blue side. Karthus picks up the kill. The inhibitor goes down, and this should be GG for the blue side.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. I don't think Gragas is going to be able to save the day here. He's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to go straight down to the Caitlyn there as they push onto the Nexus turrets with the aid of the super minions. Not much you can say about this game. There was just a bit of fun from the cosplay side. Obviously not a completely legitimate team composition. Couldn't survive against the lanes.
They played it relatively well.
They did indeed, and that was an equilibrium strike to finish the game. We are going to hand over to our lovely presenter, Brycey, who's going to give away the prizes for the winning team. Get them out there, Bryce.
We are live with these guys. So that was a great game there. The cosplayers unfortunately lost. That was, I was kind of a little bit heartbroken by that.
I think it's just they wanted to give the win to the other team. They felt like they were proud enough already, I think.
Fair enough, fair enough. So let's give it up for our winners as they come out of the booth. Give it up! Good game, you guys. You kind of took the cosplayers down. That feel good? That feel good to you?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, man.
Well, congratulations. You're going to get yourself some swag here from Riot Bolton. And I'm going to go over to Dragons. Let's have a look at the cosplaying team. Guys, do you want to give it up for these cosplayers? They're just there re-costuming their stuff as they come out. Great costumes, though. I think you'll all agree. So I think Talon's going to lead the way. Hold on. Get yourself a code. Oh wow, Gragas got himself a beer mat. And I think that you agree they all did fantastically well. Once again, please give it up for the cosplayers. All right, guys. Well, we are going to be right back in just a few minutes while we reset all of this, and we're going to have some more people playing League of Legends. Don't go anywhere.